This episode is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. It's a special thing to be a member of Navy Federal because they are a member-owned, not-for-profit credit union that invests in its members with amazing rates and low fees. That's why members could earn and save more every year. Plus, they serve all branches of the armed forces, veterans, and their families. So if you're interested in becoming a member, learn more at NavyFederal.org. At Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Land.com can help you find that little patch of ground to call your own and do all the hunting, fishing, and hanging out with the family you want. Just know that getting your own piece of land is something that can generate memories for generations, but also has the ability to generate income in both the near and long term. Like if you just want to start a rental business / family compound. Go to Land.com and check out the hundreds of thousands of rural listings from all across America. Enough dreaming about it. Land.com is a place to find and invest in your open space.
Episode 172, Decorating Your Home on a Budget.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast. My name is Jen.
My name is Jill.
And today we are doing another listener request about decorating on a budget. And so we have a lot of money-saving episodes on buying homes, renovating homes, decorating, all of that stuff. So this is just another one in the series.
Mm-hmm. I love these ones because it feels right up my alley. Jen calls this our easier episode. So take that as you will.
Choice. Sorry.
This is an easier one, Jill. You'll like it.
So if you want to queue up some episodes to play after this, you can definitely get into episode 159, a pretty recent one. That's where we talk about home renovations on a budget. So that's where we're talking about kind of increasing the value of the home. Or episode 15, how to save money on home decor. So that's putting more stuff into your home. Today, we're kind of talking about how can you limit yourself on buying home decor? How can you complete your home's decoration so that we stop buying things, we know what we like, and we can move on. So 15 and 159, there's a lot of room in between those. But first, let's thank our sponsors for this episode.
Also brought to you by the early 2000s. They're here, apologizing for all their mistakes, causing us all to now hunt for solutions and remedies to make up for all that poor interior design choices. Every generation has a tendency to complain about the one before it, but those initial budget DIYers really have shown us what not to do. From tiling countertops to putting border wallpaper everywhere, us up-and-coming budget DIYers have a lot to reclaim. So early 2000s, you're on a short leash, but we do forgive you. Now let's learn from the mistakes and do better.
Oh my gosh, trading spaces.
Yeah.
Show.
Uh-huh. Well, I've got an even better one for you. I was thinking back to all of these old, there was just not even a resurgence. There was this started to happen in the early 2000s, maybe even like late 90s of these budget DIY shows making people believe like, oh, I can do this. And people can do it. But the ideas that they gave and the propaganda they sold. So decorating sense. This is totally a rabbit trail, but it's worth it. If you want a comedy show, an interior design comedy show, decorating sense. It was, I think HGTV put it out back in the early 2000s. They would decorate rooms with like a $300 budget or less, utilizing most of what's in the room, which is a really great idea. But the things that they did were so awful. So awful.
What was one that like has traumatized you?
Okay. They began with just a white kitchen. Like, it was a dated kitchen for our standards now, but it was all white. There was plenty of things that you could do with it. At its core, it was pretty beautiful. And they had a massive bay window looking out into a beautiful backyard above the kitchen sink. And this woman, Joan Steffend, whatever her name is, came in and hung plastic water pitchers with beads in front of the entirety of the window. She's like, oh, look, we can dress up this window. Hung plastic water pitchers as like a feature, as like a conversation piece, just like 15 water pitchers across the bay window. And this is like a way to store your water pitchers. First of all, you don't need that many. Second of all, they're plastic water pitchers. Third of all, with beads. In no era is it a good idea to block a massive bay window looking out over a beautiful backyard with plastic water pitchers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I am traumatized by that one.
Oh.
Early 2000s, Joan Steffend.
So this is the stuff we're trying to avoid. Mm-hmm. Taking somebody else's style and doing it for yourself because somebody else did it and because it's a little cheaper than doing it the expensive way. So in this episode, we're going to talk about finding your personal style so that you find something that works for you. I think I was really inspired by Christine Platt's talk at the Future Frugal Summit, where finding your authentic self is much more powerful than just doing something, maybe decorating or not decorating for the sake of decorating or not decorating. Whether you fall into the camp of I over-decorate or I'm a minimalist. And so finding your personal style so you can customize whichever camp you're sitting in. Mm-hmm. And it can really feel like yours, not somebody else's.
Yeah.
And then also better advice for upcycling things that you already have.
Better advice, yeah.
The tenants, TLDL, we want you to like know what you like so that you can constantly be on the lookout and be patient in finding it. And then also identify like key pieces in your home. So this first article is from veranda.com. Veranda, like Miranda. I don't know how that's a very Southern word. I should know how to say that. Veranda.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's how to find your personal decor style. What did you think about this one, Jill?
I think the title of the article is a tip even in and of itself, as you're describing, Jen, that is one of the keys, is determine what is your style. And some of it might come from seeing other things that you know and like, but it doesn't have to be just a replication of something else. It doesn't have to be all one thing. Like if you know you like mid-century modern, it doesn't mean that you can't like move into other types of styles or incorporate other things into your home. And so I love all of the tips in here. I think we can just go through all of them. And the first is research, which I think we've got plenty of platforms to help us with that as we are defining what is my own personal style. You've got Pinterest, you've got Google, you've got other friends' homes that you can go to, and just start to take note and be logging. What do I like? What do I not like? What do I want to see in my own space is a really excellent place to start so that you can hone in on what's you and not waste a ton of time trying to replicate other things or what other people tell you is in style right now. That'll save you a lot of money.
Yeah, here are two things that are not your style. I can help you right now. Joanna Gaines is not your personal style, and Target is not your personal style. So if you said those two
unpopular
things,
belief. Here we go. Hot take. Woo, are we ready for
Joanna
this?
Gaines is not your personal style. You've got your own, and it's going to last way longer than any farmhouse chic trend. So find yours.
It is funny to me. And you might like the stuff that she does or that Target puts out, but recognize that it is trendy right now. And it is funny to me to see everybody like hanging farmhouse signs like in their downtown apartments. It's like,
oh my gosh.
I mean, if you live in a farmhouse, then go farmhouse. If you live in a downtown apartment, you don't have to hang farmhouse signs.
Here's the thing. If you live in a farmhouse, you don't have to go farmhouse. You already farmhouse. You already farmhouse. You don't have to prove it. You live in a farmhouse.
Oh, man. Hot take.
Hot take.
Hot take,
I'm
Tony.
sorry.
Okay.
So after you do research, and so this is a great place, like looking at magazines in the grocery store or where, like Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble has all these like really great architectural magazines. You don't have to, buy them. Just kind of, flip through them, maybe take some pictures. The internet is great for that. A lot of great stuff on the internet. But after you do that and you kind of get a feel for like what you might like, take inventory of what you have. So go through each room of your home, look for the pieces that really stand out. This is a great time to try the KonMari method. So looking through your home decor, if you're not going to do anything else, but you're trying to like decorate, just do KonMari with your home decor. Like take a piece of decor, hold it. Does it, spark joy, make you happy, fit with you, whatever you want to call it. And like do that piece by piece. And so you can identify those core pieces that really are you. And that could take a lot of the research out of it, because whatever you're left with you truly love, like that is more speaking to your style. And then the other things are maybe speaking to old trends that you followed. You can get rid of those and just start with a really great core of decor.
Yes, it's not only shopping your own house first, but like you said, it's helping you narrow down what do you actually like and can give inspiration for what you might want the rest of the room to look like. The third thing on here is to start small. This doesn't mean that, okay, I've done my research and here's what I want to do. And so now let me just go out and buy all of the things to make it look picture magazine perfect. It's okay to start small. Of course, be patient. Look at some of the smaller, more basic design pieces and build upon that. It doesn't have to be big and all at once. You can take your time with it, and it doesn't have to look, your room does not have to look like a magazine picture. Some of those pictures I like the pictures that they're showing in this article, but a lot of them they're very full. If it's not your style, that doesn't have to be how your room looks.
Yeah, these are a lot of throw pillows.
So many, which end up going on the ground. Like, can we all just be real about that? I would not sit on this couch. If I were to go sit on that couch, I would have to move like 5 pillows first.
Yeah, it's not even a very wide, like a girthy couch. Come on, okay? So also another hot take, like your style is not throw pillows. So
in the next one too, you all are going to have to check out this article now.
Yeah,
now that you've said it, I'm noticing
it's
the
showing
pillows on the bed.
The bed.
Yeah, comes like halfway to like the foot of the bed.
5 pillows, and it's only showing half of the bed. And I can see 6 pillows. I see 6 pillows. I see a part of one of the others. So yeah, and definitely start small. Frugality works best when you're patient and you plan. So when you set the foundations in place for like your true style and kind of identify some of the pieces that you are looking for, that you like, that you want, you can be really patient to get the right piece at the right price. So don't rush this process. You might have bare walls and empty rooms for a while. That's okay, because you know what you're going to get is going to last. And you may even be willing to spend a little bit more on it when you find a deal for something, because you know, I want this piece specifically versus just impulse buying 5 things because they're on sale at Target and they're Magnolia.
Yeah, that's where you will long-term waste money in versus knowing that you really like something. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a big financial investment, but if you've waited for something, if you've considered that piece for a while, you are more likely to hold on to it, to value it, to really enjoy that piece and build around it versus just collecting whatever seems pretty in the moment and whatever's least expensive.
Absolutely. So number 4 is to reach out. So this I had never really thought about, but the article says that if you're truly looking to reinvent your space, consider reaching out to a designer. So platforms such as The Expert make it easy to connect with renowned interior designers from across the world that can give you their masterful advice, even if you're not in need of a full-blown home redesign. And remember those notes you took while researching. Check to see if a certain designer kept popping up, and don't be afraid to reach out to them. So Instagram makes this really easy. So maybe it's not like a big time designer, maybe it's a smaller designer, and you could actually legitimately DM them and like ask their opinion on something. You could be giving them content ideas. Creators love to have content ideas. They love to hear from, listeners and followers and stuff, because we like to know what you want to know so that we know what to say. That's definitely an option.
Yeah, and that can be a free option. You don't have to pay for that always. And I would even say ask a friend. Sometimes it can be really helpful, especially if you've got a friend who you like their style. You see that they are pretty versatile and even being able to decorate different things. Have them over and chat together about some ideas. Sometimes just a fresh perspective can be useful. And you got that social capital happening and opportunities to get together. And number 5 on here is, I love this one. This is basically like our Frugal Friends motto is be patient and have fun. So
I can't think of a better motto, honestly.
I cannot stress the patience enough to not rush to what you want a room to look like. It's okay to take time with it. And it's okay to take time to find the deals, to wait for a specific style to be available to you within the price range that you want to pay. And have fun. Your room doesn't have to look stuffy. It doesn't have to look the way everybody else says that it has to look. Like, allow it to be a representation of your personality. Allow the decor process to be enjoyable. Again, if that means having friends over and chatting about the space and engaging in things, putting things in the room that are fun and life-giving and bring you joy. All of these pieces combined. Be patient, have fun. What a great way to end that article.
Yeah. And I would add, like, being fun means, like, you can have fun, like, with your furniture. So it's not, like, perfect and expensive furniture, but you can, like, have fun on your furniture and not freak out if maybe you spill some snacks on there, or your kid draws on the corner or something. Like, your home should be livable and your furniture should be sittable. So your furniture is not decor. Your furniture is for function. And that's, for like my opinion, it's just much less stress when it's like you're buying secondhand, you're buying already with some imperfections, and so you feel good about it. But it can still look good. Like, it can still look good, but you just feel more freedom. So that to me, when you can have fun, fun in the house
and not so concerned about like protecting it, because it's been a massive investment,
right? So that's my cap off to the personal style aspect.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, And of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/strategic. That's oracle.com/strategic. oracle.com/strategic.
Instacart shoppers know groceries. They know that you can't make guacamole with rock-hard avocados. They know how to quickly find those peanut butter pretzels you can never find. And they keep you in the know by giving you updates about your order along the way. Let Instacart shoppers help take shopping off your plate so you can get time and energy back for what really matters. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
So let's talk a little bit about maybe inspiration for upcycling things you have, or finding the possibility in something. Like maybe you have a vision for something that you want in your home and you find something that isn't exactly there, but you can have vision for it to be like similar to, the original vision. So I tend to find YouTubers are great at this. Like when I go and I want to upcycle something, which is very rare, I'm not an upcycler. I'm not a designer or decorer. But when I do, I will go to YouTube. And so we've got this article from Life's Amazing, 8 DIY and home decor YouTube channels to follow in 2020. Though we know it is nearing the end of 2021. But that's when this article is written. What do you think, Jill?
This is such a fun idea, Jen, and I love where you took this outline for this episode, because this is now giving just tangible resources to people to help in this process of defining your own style, as well as, like you said, getting some inspiration for how to be able to decorate your home, your space on a budget. All of these YouTubers are going to help you in that direction. So this segment of this episode is less about here's what to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's more information. Here's some people that you can follow to help you on that journey. So I think I'm excited about it because I have now started to look into some of these YouTubers myself. Yeah, for more inspiration, more ideas. So I think it's an incredible way to take this. And so many stand out to me, but of course, we all are finding our own style. So I love that there's 8, there's actually 9. they say 8, but then there's a bonus one. So depending on what stands out to you, we're just going to do a quick rundown, and then feel free to go off on your own and YouTube some of this. It's a great resource. And like you said to Jen, Instagram as well can be helpful in this process. So there's a YouTuber called Mr. Kate. So it's actually a couple, and they show low cost redesign. So they are about budget, they're about design, and they specifically will sometimes work with odd layouts. So keep that in mind. If you've got a room that's kind of like, it doesn't feel super functional, they'll kind of show you some ways that you can make a room functional, even if the layout is odd. But in general, low cost redesign.
Yes. I have to say, first off, it's not the next on the list, but the Sorry Girls. I actually was watching them yesterday when I was looking, for these articles, and I got hooked. They're Canadian, and they did a series where they asked like nearby people, like, do you need anything secondhand? Because they love secondhand stuff. And so they got 3 different people, their secondhand needs, and they did battle against each other to see who could find the best thing for the person. And so I was like hooked on that. And
you love competition.
I don't really, but like I loved the competition to buy something secondhand. And they just found some great things. And so it can really help you if you are kind of at a loss for buying things secondhand for decor. You maybe feel like you don't have the eye for it. Definitely watch them, because I feel like I only watched that one video, but they do a lot of their stuff is secondhand. One of them said their entire house was, secondhand. So it is definitely good if you're looking for that.
I can pretty much say that about my home too.
Same.
Which is great.
Same. Yeah. Everything I'm looking at.
They've also recommended another YouTuber, Lone Fox. So their style is mid-century modern, which is big right now. We're not going to lie. If we're going to talk about trendy, yes, there's a lot of people who are moving towards this very mid-century modern style right now. But if that is your style, great. Lone Fox is one of them. But they also specialize in specifically some IKEA hacks and dollar store DIYs. So if that's you, if you find yourself gravitating towards those stores, this YouTube channel kind of shows some ways to be able to utilize some things that are sold at IKEA or the dollar store and kind of upcycle them or utilize them in a way that might look even nicer, more modern, and maybe even that mid-century modern style.
Mm-hmm. It's cute stuff. The next one's Living to DIY with Rachel Metz. This is another mid-century modern, but with maybe a little more industrial, with lots of wood tones. So if that sounds like you, then she's definitely one to check out. I haven't watched any of the other people on here, I will say, but they do have a video for each on this page. And I am loving the dark green. Mm-hmm. It looks dark green, but maybe it's just black, like accent wall she did on this bedroom makeover. Mm-hmm. I'm very into dark walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will say, we might talk about this a bit in the lightning round. I mean, our style, we can't anticipate that our style is going to stay with us through decades.
Yeah.
We probably will shift, and some of what we think is ours is probably connected to whatever is currently trendy. Mm-hmm. And so keeping that in mind with some decor and choosing to, if you want to go bold, great, recognize you may change your mind in 10 years, but choose to go bold in ways that you could easily shift, right? Painting a wall does not cost a lot. So if in the future you decide, you know what, I liked emerald green in 2021, but 2035, it's not me anymore. Okay, fine. All you got to do is paint a wall. It's much different from spending thousands of dollars on a custom tile that could potentially be very trendy. So just keep that in mind that your style now is not always going to be your style. And so some of these design choices, we could choose a bit less expensive of an option so that we don't feel bad when we do want to change it out in the future. Mm-hmm. The next one on here is Live Your Style. So this one focuses in on small spaces and maximizing storage. So if that's you, if you don't have a ton of storage, you need to maximize storage, or you are living in a small apartment or even a tiny home, this would be a good one to follow.
It's also a lot of renter-friendly videos. So Live Your Style for that. I don't necessarily like the picture or the video they chose for this one, but
I'm sure there's plenty of other videos to choose from.
Yeah. The next one's Trisha J.A. I don't know. DIY art projects that are budget friendly. So if you have bare walls and you're not happy with that, let's normalize bare walls. You don't have to hang anything on your walls for them to be beautiful. But if you do want to have something beautiful on your walls, Trisha has, these are some good looking wall projects I'm seeing. I love big art pieces. I don't necessarily have a wall big enough for a large piece of art, but I love those versus a lot of different small things, which is what I have because my walls are smaller.
Got to work with what you got.
You do.
The next one on here is XO McKenna, and this YouTube channel really focuses in on thrifting flips. So finding things from the thrift store and not just utilizing them, although you could find something great from a thrift store and just decorate with that, but also upcycling them, making some modifications to them to make them look even more clean and fresh and stylish.
Yeah, these things look cool in this picture. I'm very impressed. Mm-hmm. This last one on the list, I probably would not have added. It's Studio McGee. I saw one of their videos and it did not look very budget friendly, but yeah, I guess if you like Fixer Upper and you need more of that, Studio McGee is a really great addition to your watching.
Well, and I think too, even if you find a channel or someone on Instagram who is above your budget, they're doing some things that aren't something that you would value spending a ton of money on, it still can give you some inspiration and narrow down what is your style. Is there a way that you could creatively hack some of those styles? Do it in a way that is more budget friendly for you. So I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with any of it. It can all just help you narrow down what you want to see in your home and hack some of these things, get creative.
Yeah.
So we hope that these YouTube channels have helped you to find what is going to be useful to you and even give the idea to look there, even if you don't go with one of these 8 options of channels, that you can be searching on Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, and gain some of your inspiration there. And of course, find the freedom to decorate your home in a way that matches your style, that fits your budget. And it's okay, again, to be patient with it. It doesn't have to all happen at once.
The closer you get to you, the more money you will save from impulse buys. You'll know when your home is complete so that you won't continue to overbuy. And I mean, there's less turnover, so fewer knickknacks and tchotchkes in landfills. So that is really our hope with this episode. And our other hope with this episode is to bring you
the Bill of the Week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the Bill of the Week.
Hi guys, my name is Taylor and I'm a huge fan of your podcast, specifically the episodes where you talk about living in an RV to pay off debt, because my husband and I have been living in our RV for about a year now, and it has been just the biggest money saver in our lives. So my bill of the week is actually twofold. My first one is that my husband and I are expecting our first child in July, and we're so excited to say that we don't have any doctor bills to worry about. So no OB fees, no doctor fees. Those are completely paid off. And I'm only halfway through my pregnancy, and I'm so glad I don't have to worry about any of that. And my second bill of the week is, since the day I found out I was pregnant, we have saved up 2 years of daycare. So I don't have to worry about daycare either. It's so great that we financially planned for this child, to know that I don't have to worry about where the money is going to come from and having to pay for these things. So thanks guys so much for all that you've done for us. And I'm so excited to listen to more episodes.
Oh my gosh, Taylor. Well, congratulations. You have already had your baby, hopefully, by this point.
Oh, so many things to celebrate with you. I mean, first of all, you are my spirit animal for living in an RV. I have a lot of spirit animals out there. And what that has afforded you. I mean, I know that it's not for everyone, but I can't speak highly enough about it, and just the difference it can make in finances for the short term and long term. And how it has helped you to not have to worry about doctor's fees, OB costs, having saved up 2 years of daycare. Holy smokes. I mean, not only are you doing something cool and intentional, but yeah, you've really focused in on how can we harness this time and make good choices. So, cheering you on, Taylor, and congrats on your first child. I hope that motherhood is treating you well so far.
And congrats on saving 2 years of daycare. That is a big expense, and that is something really to be celebrated. So we see you, and We honor you for that. And we're so proud of you we're so happy to be on this journey with you. If you want to submit your bill of the week, visit frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill to leave us a bill, and we will celebrate with you and be super excited.
We get our weekly groceries delivered through Instacart because once football season starts, game time is family time. I can get everything my family needs for the week, from reliable staples to specialty ingredients, all delivered right to my door in as fast as 1 hour. So I can stay on my game without missing a minute of the game. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Meaningful Beauty, the famed skincare brand created by iconic supermodel Cindy Crawford. It's her secret to absolutely gorgeous skin. Meaningful Beauty makes powerful and effective skincare simple, and it's loved by millions of women. It's formulated for all ages and all skin tones and types, and it's designed to work as a complete skincare system, leaving your skin feeling soft, smooth, and nourished. I recommend starting with Cindy's full regimen, which contains all 5 of her best-selling products, including the amazing youth-activating Melon Serum. This next generation serum has the power of melon leaf stem cell technology. It's melon leaf stem cells encapsulated for freshness and released onto the skin to support a visible reduction in the appearance of wrinkles. With thousands of glowing 5-star reviews, why not give it a try? Subscribe today and you can get the amazing Meaningful Beauty system for just $49.95. That includes our introductory 5-piece system, free gifts, free shipping, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. All of that available at meaningfulbeauty.com.
And now it's time for the lightning round.
It just got a little lighter in my room, and I wonder if it's the lightning round.
Yes.
So today's lightning round is asking, what would you define your personal style as, and how do you design for it? And this one, Jill, you're going first.
Okay, Jen. So we have had the honor and privilege of living in many different places. And Eric and I have in our past had an interiors business together. It was one of our, not even side hustles. It was a main hustle for a while, then a side hustle. So I will say I have designed a lot of spaces, Eric and I both, for ourselves and for other people, like helping them define what do you want this space to look like. And I will say my style has shifted. It's interesting to look back on some of the renovations that I did 10 years ago versus what I would do now. And some of it was cost related. Okay, what is the least expensive backsplash? That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try and design around that. But I will also say for me, I do think I define a lot of my style for the spaces that I live in based on what is the space. For me, that's part of the authenticity of it. So for instance, I'm not going to live in an apartment in a city and try to make it look like a farmhouse. I will want to go with what is the style here? When was this built? For me, that, because I have a lot, even now, I have a lot of different styles that I do like. And so it helps me to narrow it down to say, well, what is this space? And what can I pull out of this? So currently we are living in a home, our home that we bought, it was built in the 1950s. It has a lot of the mid-century style to it. And thankfully, I do also like that. Yes, there's aspects of mid-century modern that are on trend right now, but it feels authentic to me because that is the time frame in which our home was built. And so we can work with that. So that has kind of helped to guide and steer, what am I going to make this space look like? Even though there's a lot of different options out there, that is what can feel authentic to me. And so I'm realizing too that I like the clean lines and I am a bit more simple in my design. It's also a functionality to me as well. So form and function is how I would describe my style, and whatever the space is, what is that pulling out and how can I work with what is already there?
That is beautiful. Mine is gray mostly and some wood.
Yeah.
I am not design inclined. I'm pretty picky, but I don't have like a lot of passion for decorating.
Your home is beautiful. You've done a great job. And you're content with it. I don't come over and see a ton of changes happening, which I think is the goal. That here's what I have. I've put it together in a way that I like, and I'm not going to spend a ton of money changing that.
Yeah. I used to be big into candles, but I can't really be big into candles anymore because I have a toddler who would also be big into candles. But I do love light, which Travis doesn't like light. He likes dark rooms. So I would say we have a pretty neutral home with a few earthy accents. That is pretty much it for me. And I think most of all, I am driven by my personality more than my style, or driven by my internal motivators over my style. So things are secondhand. I can maybe count on one hand the number of things that we got new, because that's important to me. And things are typically low cost, because that's also important to me. Yeah. So those are the things actually more so than style that drive my choices. And because those things are important to me, I tend to keep it neutral.
I love that. Ultimately, the contentment, right? And you said this already. That's the goal, is we decorate a room and we can be content with it. That we're not, that's where the saving money is going to come into place. We're not constantly buying, constantly redecorating to find something and stick with it. And I'm sure we're going to have plenty of listeners who are like, I don't really care. This is the end table I got from my grandparents, and this is the bed from my childhood, and it's done. Perfect. Then you have saved money furnishing your space and you're content with it. So whether you are super into design or it doesn't really matter to you, the end goal is complete the room and move on, and don't keep spending money on it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We want to thank you for all of your kind feedback and reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. They really do help us out, like this one from Mikhail W. Janelle 3. And it just happens to be 5 stars. It says Frugal Community with a few heart emojis. And she says, loads of good topics, energy, and resources. I love listening to the Frugal Friends podcast. I'm 20 years old and still always connect with each episode. Not only is it a great podcast, but a great community. I've met and connected with so many people in their Facebook group and love being accompanied on my frugal journey. Yay!
Thank you so much for that review. We're hearing so much about the community aspect of what this podcast is, what the groups are, what our membership is, which is coming up.
Which if you didn't get into it in July, end of October is your next opportunity. So be on the lookout.
Yay. We also want to thank our friends who share these episodes on social media. So when you share the latest episode and tag us on Facebook or Instagram, we add you to our monthly drawing. For every 5 tags and reviews we get each month, we give away a copy of the Frugal Friends workbook.
So definitely share the episodes. Keep leaving us reviews. Send the screenshot to frugalfriendspodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to tag us on social.
See you next week.
Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Siriani.
Decor. I'm not even at that stage in our house. We have so few things, which I love.
The last time I was at your house a few weeks ago, it was empty again. Like it was
because we were in the middle of renovations
and the walls were white.
Yeah. So much of our decor is just going to be baked into our renovations, like doing accent walls as part of our renovation process and built-in shelving. It's like those pieces, those character pieces. And then we just won't need a ton of stuff. And then I just propagate my own plants and put that everywhere. My style is plants.
I'm sure you are not alone. I'm sure a lot of people will say plants are my
especially through COVID. It's so funny to watch something become trendy. It's like I have been into plants for a very long time, and many people have been into plants, but suddenly like Lowe's and Home Depot are getting on the bandwagon and charging like $20 for a succulent. So I'm not all about that. You can absolutely get succulents. You can propagate succulents. You can find them probably just like in your yard, or you can join a plant club. You do not have to spend a ton of money just because something has suddenly become on trend. Like plants have always been a thing, and you can still get them inexpensively.
Absolutely.
And propagate your own.
But I would challenge you and say plants are not your personal style.
I love plants. And I liked them before COVID. So yeah, they bring joy to me. They bring peace and tranquility caring for them. Plants, gardening, all the things.
You do love that. And I'm glad that you now have your own plot of land to really let your plant flag fly.
Yes. Oh, and you better watch it fly. So many plants, so much oxygen.
Land.com can help you find that little patch of ground to call your own and do all the hunting, fishing, and hanging out with a family you want. Just know that getting your own piece of land is something that can generate memories for generations, but also has the ability to generate income in both the near and long term. Like if you just want to start a rental business / family compound. Go to Land.com and check out the hundreds of thousands of rural listings from all across America. Enough dreaming about it. Land.com is a place to find and invest in your open space.
With the best all-inclusive vacation deals to Mexico and the Caribbean, booking your getaway with Cheap Caribbean Vacations means you have more freedom to do your deal. Whether you want to enjoy snorkeling, endless margaritas, and more, or simply soak up the sun and sand in a tropical paradise, Cheap Caribbean Vacations has your deal for that. Plan and book the exact getaway you want at exactly the right price for you by using our exclusive Budget Beach Finder, or find a featured all-inclusive package to Paradisus by Malia Hotels. And do your deal at cheapcaribbean.com.